listeners. Welcome back to the Cuddlepunk podcast. I am your host, the provider, Veronica Vext. Here with me today, I learned about this band, unfortunately too late to see them live, but they are so much of my hometown heroes. It is unbelievable. There's really no words for how excited I am for this particular interview. Ella from Narrowcast and Transit is here
Hello.
today. Ella, how you doing?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
So, I wanted to ask, what's going on that's like, is anything new happening with Narrowcast? I know that you guys haven't updated in a little bit.
No, Matt had a baby and everything's kind of on hold right now. I don't know what's in the future for Narrowcast. What I'm doing right now is just I've been putting all my energy into transition. I have top surgery literally on Tuesday. So I'm going to be out of commission for quite a few weeks. So Narrowcast is on hold until I don't know when. I've just been, singing on my Instagram and just trying to make sure I am still using my voice and not letting it go stagnant. But that's really it. I'm probably going to start writing while I'm recovering from top surgery this week coming up. So I'll probably start writing again because I got to. I'm going to be sitting in this bed for, a long time. I'm not really sure how long I'm going to be bedridden, but I'll have plenty of time to write, so I'll probably do that.
We'll be sending all the support we can. Just to be known, there is new, like, music at least being written for the general Ellaverse.
Yeah, yeah, I'm always working on stuff, and I always have stuff written. And even from the transit days, I have pages and pages and pages about a book's worth of stuff that was never used. I always have stuff written down, and we'll continue to keep writing.
I'm curious as to how you found, like, I know how you found out about this show because of Hannah Bellinger, one of my
Yeah,
oldest friends still back in Massachusetts. We've known each other,
yep.
like, we met because she was nice enough to take me to a fucking Hank Green and the Perfect Strangers show at Middle
Cool.
East in Cambridge.
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted to know, like, how did the show come up, I guess? Like, because I know you had been, like, you've been on this, like, I want to do a really gay interview about transit type thing for a little bit.
So I run a Discord called TQLN, Trans Queer Liberation Net. There's about 150 of us. It's allies, just queer folk, um, mostly in Charlotte, but in all different parts of the world and as well, just a few. And yeah, they just said you'd be a great person to do a podcast with, and here I am, just kind of connected the dots. So
So is Hannah just like a part of your Discord? Because I know
yeah,
that y'all have like maybe a closer relationship than other people in the Discord. I know that, but she is like a Discord like a Discord friend basically.
yeah, yeah. She joined the Discord, and we hit it off as friends, and we talk on the phone here and there every once in a while. And yeah, just a great person, really big heart, nonstop, go 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 personality.
They do not take a fucking break. It is
Never.
unreal. They're I'll tell that story not on camera actually.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of Hannah, one of Hannah's favorite bands is As It Is, and one of the last things that you did with Narrowcast was you were on the final track of the As It Is re-release for 10 years of Never Happy Ever After. What has your relationship with like Patty and Ben and them been for like the last 10 years since that album's come out, and what made you want to jump on the re-release?
I met them on Warped Tour when I was doing, we were both doing a song shop. So we were basically like teaching people, teaching fans like how to write and how we write and just learn more about our process. And that was a lot of fun. So that's where I met them originally. Um, and from there, we just stayed in touch. I love their music, and we just kind of stayed in touch through Instagram. They've been allies for as long as I've known them, and they've just been beautiful fucking people. So I always try to keep in touch with friends like that from the road and friends like that from shows. So yeah, we just started getting to talking, and then the offer came up to do it, and then I reached out to one of my friends in Charlotte, my friend Ben, and I was like, "Hey, can I record can I record at your place? Do you have an opening? We could lay down some vocal tracks. And he's like, fuck yeah. So it just all came together. But I've been periodically touching base with them and some other friends from the old like touring days, and just kind of naturally happened.
It's really cool to see that like they've always been as cool as I've hoped that they've been. Because I remember I found out about As It Is through watching Patty on YouTube back in the day with his like pop punk covers of like Disney songs or
Yeah,
whatever. So like that's super cool to hear. It's really interesting seeing like that era of like the very like last Warped Tour era starting to be in like uh kind of like the nostalgia period a little bit.
yeah.
Like I just like I'm getting tickets for like I just saw State Champs do
Oh
Around the
yeah.
World and Back here in Chicago in full. Like that album came out when I was like a junior in high school.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about that like kind of nostalgia circuit for that era of like couples with like anchor tattoo uh lyric prints on Tumblr core, as I call it.
I love that era. It was a big part of my life. I love merch from that era. I love a lot of the people I met at shows. That's what I miss the most about touring and putting out music. With Transit was the community. It really was amazing. It was a wonderful part of like my life. The one of the best parts of my life, period. Um, but yeah, I love seeing that nostalgia. It's crazy to have grown up listening to older bands that broke up before my band existed. And I listened to a lot of those bands from the 90s that inspired me in my writing, and I know other members did as well. And it's just cool to see now that the bands that we toured with and played with are now have their own legacy and have that similar thing going on. It's just a passing of the torch. Like some of my favorite like pop punk bands and punk bands like broke up way before I they ever got to my ears. And it's just cool to just see that kind of happen in real life, in real time. Just the passing of the torch and all.
I feel like it would be very cool. There's like kind of a nostalgia happening for like the like early 2000s emo, not like just like the mall like hot topic emo stuff, but like kind of the like heavier and more nerdier stuff. Like I feel like if Transit would ever like get back together, not saying that that would ever happen, but like I feel like it would be cool to do like a 90s 2000s 2010s tour with like you guys, Four Year Strong, and like Piebald.
Oh yeah, I love
Like just to have
Piebald.
a
I still
Massachusetts
listen to
tour.
them.
I love I saw them at Riot, and I saw them at uh Hometown Throwdown for the Boss Tones in 2017. That was awesome, and I'm glad that I can still listen to one of those bands.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I love Piebald. Piebald and Saves the Day were two of the main bands that influenced Transit to try to put out a different sounding record every release and not really just do the same formulaic thing. So, Saves the Day and Piebald were the two that made us say, fuck it. Like, we're going to have records that people love and we're going to have records that people don't like. And we're going to break up and we're going to be proud that we put out the records we wanted to put out. So, yeah, you
I
just named one of the two.
I did notice that like that first album that you guys put out, it feels like This Will Not Define Us. It reminds me a lot of another Massachusetts band, The Hotelier, where you have
Okay.
that like first like kind of get up kids like kind of taking stuff from them and like taking stuff from like I don't know, maybe like earlier Fallout, like very early Fallout Boy, or like that more like punk stuff. And then you see both of y'all kind of get more melodic and like a little bit like more eccentric with the instrumentation and everything. Like you both went more folky, but they went in a much more like strictly emo direction, whereas you guys always kept that like pop punk side of things.
Yeah, so I can tell you kind of in a nutshell how things kind of happened. So Transit was a local band on MySpace, and they didn't have a singer. Their singer left to be a manager at a Home Depot. His name was Pat Boston. So that was the original singer, and they didn't
His name
record
was
it.
not. Please tell me his name was not actually Pat Boston, and that was a nickname that people had given to him.
I think it was a nickname. Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
but that's all
perfect.
I know. I don't. I think I've met him once, maybe twice. But this guy, he left, and people were talking about Transit needing a singer so they could record. Um, and I was playing in a hardcore band called Breaking Waves with my friend Carl and my friend Josh at the time. It was like a melodic hardcore band, and we had a MySpace too, like 3 songs I think. And I was like, I can do that. I sing backups for this hardcore band. Like I can totally. Let me just ripping a bong right now.
Hell yeah,
Fuck yeah.
baby! Listen,
No, it's great.
girls listening to the Transit and smoking weed in 2016. Nah, girls interviewing Transit and smoking weed in 20
Fuck
2026,
yeah,
baby.
let's go. So anyway, basically Transit needed a singer. They had a like a lifetime saves the day can't slow down sound going on when I first heard them. Maybe a little bit of like set your goals style in there. And they needed a singer, and they tried out I think a few people, and I got picked. We were in Tim's garage and in Stoneham, Massachusetts, and he like stepped away from me. Like he had me playing, like singing over him playing acoustic guitar, and then he like went upstairs for a little while, and I think he was talking to his girlfriend at the time, and then he comes downstairs and he's like, "Yeah, like me and her think you sound awesome, and the rest of the band does too. We think you're a good match. So if you want to, be in our band, we'd be happy to have you." And I was psyched. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like, yes, I do. The songs that I originally recorded with Transit were Castaway and a part of I'm doing an interview right now. Sorry. Sorry, my roommate just came
All
in.
good.
Um, so Castaway was an original from like a MySpace track with no singer. And then let me think. Part of what's the song from Keep It to Yourself? A Living Diary. So a part of A Living Diary had its own full song. So there's like I think like the we're only talking 'cause you lost someone close to you. So that song was an original demo. Um, that was on this demo as well. And I'm trying to think. I think that was it. I think it was like 2 songs. We had like a 2 song demo. And then from there, Let It Out came out, our first EP, very Lifetime influenced, Get Up Kids influenced. And then This Will Not Define Us, where we were just kind of extending that sound. And instead of going faster, we mixed it up with like poppier elements and more like, um, I don't know, like mineral influence and all over the place. So it's kind of just like a mixtape. So that record was supposed to be like a mixtape of different sounds of what we were experimenting with to figure out what our sound was going to be, really. So that's why it's called This Will Not Define Us, because it's literally us trying to figure out what we wanted to do.
That's fucking awesome. I love. I do know. Like you do notice how like none of the Transit records really like sound similar to like they sound similar to each other, but they all have their own like specific sheen
Yeah.
to them. Where like you like they're the best way that I could describe them is like they're all summery, but they almost have like different like places you would be in a summer. Where it's like I feel like Young New England is very like Boston summer, whereas
I
like
disagree. I feel like I feel different seasons from each record, but
please
that's
tell
I got
me
a whole different view of them.
please tell me
Um,
because like only one felt like very Joyride felt very like kind of like you're going up to Maine for the summer, and then
yeah.
yeah, Joyride felt very much more like that, but then Listen and Forgive feels very like suburban Massachusetts like summer. But I wanted to tell me more about like what are the vibes for all the seasons for you on those records, if we're using that metaphor.
I think a lot of it's when we recorded it and what I was feeling, or when we wrote it is what I hear and what I feel from the records more so than what they sound sonically. Um, Let It Out for me is just cold winter, hating school, hating taking the train into Boston. This Will Not Define Us is absolutely fall. It's going away, and it's leaving home for the first time and playing shows in Philly and playing shows in Long Island and just playing shows in New Hampshire and different parts of our, region of the United States. So that's what it is. I would say This Will Not Define Us is very fall. It's also got leaves all over the cover. I'm like kind of looking at everything while I do this because I want to be on point. Stay Home for me is very winter. I mean, even the artwork, we're literally around a fire, and it's cold as hell outside, and some of us are wearing hoodies and stuff. Very much a winter record for me. Outbound is literally about me taking the train into school and not feeling super safe on the train and not feeling like, I don't know, really not knowing what I'm doing. I'm kind of just going to school and trying to figure it out, and kind of feeling lost in the world. And there's a lot of influence from growing up. So I was in high school during 9/11, and that shit that shit fucked me up. Like I watched like the towers go down on TV. Like I sat in front of my TV alone during it, when they sent us home all day. And I think I was there up until it was like time to go to bed. So that shook my life like so many others. And there's a lot of that in the record Stay Home. Man Overboard and Transit, the split in 2009. I got a funny story about that. That is summer. That is summer, especially Riding the Bullet. Um, that like our two songs on that split EP. Um, we Transit was playing a show in Allston, Massachusetts, with this band called The Agent from Long Island, which is one of my favorite pop punk bands of all time. Kind of like a melodic hardcore punk. Everyone's, I consider them a pop punk band, very get up kids, but mixed with like old saves the day. Um, and I got really high after that show. I ate an edible and I didn't have a lot of experience with edibles. And I woke up in Wayne from Man Overboard's house. Like I greened out. I like greened out completely on an edible. And I woke up on his pull-out couch, and then we got up, ate subs, and then went to record at Nick's studio. So I am so high for that EP. I am high as fuck singing Please Head North first time. Yeah, the first recording of Please Head North and for Riding the Bullet. Absolutely blasted out of my mind.
Thank you for
Um,
giving me the first TikTok clip of this episode so
Hell
much.
yeah.
That's the clip right there.
Yeah, yeah. Um, So that record, when fucking Keep It Yourself was coming out, holy shit, is that a dark time in my life? That record for when I would say if that's a summer record or a fall record, I mean, I would say that's a fall record. I would say Dear Anyone reminds me of rain. Please Head North reminds me of winter. Footwork reminds me of the ocean and at night. Hope This Finds You Well. I don't really know for that one. I would say fall. Return Address, fall. Living Diary, fall. No In Between. Um, I don't know. I'd say most of, yeah, Keep It to Yourself is a fall record. Absolutely. Something Left Behind is absolutely a winter record. Um, that acoustic EP of kind of like different songs from different records. That's probably one of my favorite things we've ever done. That was done with Jesse Cannon, as well as the record before it, Keep Us to Yourself. So that record reminds me of winter. Promise Nothing EP is absolutely winter. I mean, look at the cover of it. Take What You Can. I never told that to anyone. Listen and Forgive is absolutely a summer record, hands down. Um, I mean, it literally has references to the 4th of July in it. Young New England is absolutely fall. I would say most of Transit is fall. If you look at everything over, and Joyride, you're right, totally summer record. Um, but I would say that predominantly Transit is a fall band with some winter in there too, and some summer.
I'm fascinated now that we've gone through all the records. I'm fascinated. So the time between, obviously you expect like EPs and like splits and 7 inches to like come between different albums and everything. That's still like you guys had very quick turnaround when it came to like your last when it came to the like the four prominent records of Keep This to Yourself, Listen and Forgive, Young New England, and Joyride. Like Listen and Forgive, Young New England, and Joyride, they all came out within like a 3 year period where Listen and Forgive was 2011, Young New England was 2013, and then Joyride was 2014. What was the thought process of just like putting out that much music in that short of a time?
Um, I feel like we always knew we weren't going to be a band forever. I mean, Radio Flyer, I'm literally singing that song is about getting away, but it's also knowing that I wasn't going to be able to like tour for the rest of my life and be in a band for the rest of my life. I kind of knew there was always an expiration date. Um, Tim was an absolute powerhouse for writing music. He just wanted to keep writing, keep writing. We were always writing. Um, and studios wanted to pay for us to put it out. And look at those are like all cemented in stone. Like those are all in stone. You can
Like
access them on any streaming service.
Keep This to Yourself is like undoubtedly one of the like premier Run for Cover albums. Like
Yeah.
that's one of the albums that I first think about when I think of Run for Cover records.
That's my favorite Transit record, I think. I think Keep This to Yourself is my favorite. Something Left Behind is really special to me as well. But I would say for us as a band, when I felt the most connected to the music and felt like we're doing exactly what I pictured and I wanted the band to sound like, from me, from my own selfish perspective, Keep It to Yourself was is my favorite record. Every time I go back to that, I think of, almost getting kicked out of school for recording and not being able to show up for class or turn in projects when I needed to. And Jesse Cannon writing these long, page-long emails to my professor, trying to make sure, like, hey, they're going to school for art and people are paying for them to do art and you know, to um, to fail them is like a crime in itself because they're already getting paid. It's not the same art that they're going to school for, but like they're out here doing it and they shouldn't be punished for it, especially if they make up the work. So Jesse Cannon was like saved my like pretty much whole school career during that record and making sure I didn't fail out. Um, but I was going through a lot with Keep It to Yourself. The band was getting influenced by old like basement Jersey like screamo bands and like it is metal influence in Keep It to Yourself. There's Kid Crash was a big influence. There's definitely Keep It to Yourself as a product musically of a lot of weed being smoked in a lot of different genres than pop punk um to make this record. It felt like a blur. It was just building from all the songs we put out before. I mean, we put out Please Head North and Riding the Bullet right before this, you know what I mean? And put out Outbound, Stays the Same, Stay Home. Like all these songs came out before this record, and it was just building and building creatively with the band where these songs were kind of just writing themselves. I'm so proud of this record. Recording the vocals for this record were miserable. I was in a very rough place mentally. I was in between panic attacks and depression. I've always suffered from heavy depression. But this was the darkest time of my life, but it also produced my favorite record.
I know that you also thank you for sharing all of that about
Yeah.
Keep This to Yourself, by the way. I know that you just made an Instagram post earlier this month about Joyride from 2014. You went through like every song on that record to just talk about different stuff, which that record has my favorite transit song of all time, which is Sweet Resistance.
Oh,
What
cool.
what about Joyride specifically made you want to like have that? Why does that album hold such a special place for you? And what prompted the desire to make like an entire post dedicated to it? It feels weird to
Um,
like talk. It feels weird to like talk about like, oh, what's the like artistic expression behind this Instagram post that you're making, but it intrigued me.
what do I say on that post again? I'm so sorry.
You're just like going through the album track by track and everything. Let me find like the specific post. Hold on.
I want to make sure I'm just not babbling about the record.
Yeah, I just need to write a full-on love letter to Joyride by Transit because this album has lived in my bones for years and somehow it still feel. Oh wait, no, I'm so sorry. This is by a Redditor.
Oh
I thought
yeah,
this.
yeah. We got a review of it, like a love letter about the record on Reddit, and someone sent it to me. A friend sent it to me, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to post this."
Are the two of you
Um,
happy? Are the two of you happy that my journalism bona fides have failed me in this moment?
This is where you just whip out a gift. You're like, look, please,
This is
who
my
gives a
Narc.
shit?
This is my
We're having a
Narc gift.
conversation. You're not feeling the conversation. This is just a conversation.
This is just a conversation. Perfect.
Yeah. What does Joyride mean to me, I guess? Sonically, singing wise, I finally feel like I was able to sing, like really sing and really belt and really hit notes and control my voice. Um, there's songs on here where I'm hitting notes I never thought I could. I love this record. Rest to Get Better is probably one of the most like proudest achievements I have writing with the band. Only One. I love the bridge on the Only One. It was influenced by my love for Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Let's
Um,
go.
that still influences me in my songwriting today. There's influences from playing a shitload of Mega Man and old school NES. And like Sweet Resistance has a lot of that. It's very like staccato, got a like almost like a robotic feel in some of the verses, and that I think that came from playing a lot of NES and video games and stuff. Nothing Left to Lose was written originally lyrically way before. I would say Nothing Left to Lose was lyrically written during Listen and Forgive and wasn't used. There's a few Listen and Forgive, like straight up from Listen and Forgive on Joyride. I would say Nothing Less Left to Lose, Ignition and Friction. Um, what else? I would say um, some of Rest to Get Better's lyrics, Loneliness Burns, Fine by Me. There's lyrics in Joyride that were directly not used in Listen and Forgive era of the writing sessions, the lyric writing sessions of that record. So there's a lot of Listen and Forgive inside of Joyride. I was working on the last song on that record, Follow Me. And again, I was pretty high when I was writing it. And I had some weird pins and needles like vibe in the room. And I heard this woman's voice in my head telling me an entire line of lyric. And I put it into the song. And it was really fucking creepy. I was in my the same room that I started writing transit lyrics in is the same room I finished writing transit lyrics in, which was my childhood room growing up in my mom's house. Um, but yeah, the last transit song is the spookiest one for me because I feel like it was like the universe was helping me write it, plus being high, plus smoking weed and writing it. I had this weird feeling in the room, and I've never had that since. Um, but yeah, I don't know, something in me knew that was the last song for the band. So
I'm curious as to you said that you like you knew that you said earlier that you know that your touring days were gonna come to an end. Is there a desire to tour currently for any future stuff that may come out, or are you? Because I would love to be able to help set up a show in Chicago at some point. I think that would be incredible. But
I,
I
I
want
don't
to.
know. I don't know. I'm really focusing on transitioning. I'm really making that my number one right now is just to fucking be who I want to be and like live my truth, like absolutely live my truth. Um, I have a lot of people that depend on me. I run a community here in Charlotte like I said, of queer folk and like um a lot of like trans women that I look up to and look up to me, and we're there for each other like a big connected family. And I feel like these are some of the happiest times in my fucking life, to have so much meaning, and to have that chapter in my life with transit was so meaningful, and to be there for people that found music as an outlet. Um, I don't know. I find being there for people who, helping people find jobs that need jobs, or helping people pay bills, or, being there for someone after a breakup, just being there for other trans women that fucking need someone there is so meaningful to me. And I have so much like value in my life, that I don't know if I want to turn any of that dialing any of that down, for music, to be honest, and tour again. So I feel like I'm just on this chapter of my life that's just so beautiful and so wholesome. And that's how I ended up in the band. Was I loved music. I wanted to become a part of music. I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to sing, and I followed that carrot on a string for 10 years with Transit, and now my journey has brought me to where I am now.
I think that that is a beautiful answer. I think that we need more people like you, just in general, throughout the states, especially with everything that is
Yeah.
going on right now. It's a scary fucking time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we have community leaders like you out there, and also really glad that you're able to look fondly on your days with Transit, because that music has meant so much to me and so much to a lot
Yeah.
of people who watch this show and a lot of people out there. What we Another thing about Transit is that they have a lot of songs that can be a little bit gay if you look at it, and a little bit trans if you look at it. When we come back, we're going to be doing a little bit more digging into the transness and the gayness of certain Transit songs. We'll be right back with more of the Cuddlepunk podcast. Welcome back to the Cuddlepunk podcast. We are here with Ella from Transit. We have been talking about the band Transit quite a bit on this episode, and we are not going to slow down. The one thing that Ella told me when we were talking about having this interview happen is that she wanted this to be a big old gay conversation about this band. And I thought that there's no better way to do that than with a new format. This is not something that we've done previously on the Cuddlepunk podcast. This is the Transit Gay Compass. We are going to be listing different Transit songs. And what we are going to be doing after that is we are going to be assigning them a spot on this here list, on this here compass. On the x-axis, we have gay to straight, and on the y-axis, we have trans to cis. It's similar to the political compass if you use that if you're a fucking hack. Ella, are you ready to start on this?
I think so.
Alrighty. We are going to start off with... You know what? Let's start off with one of my favorite songs by y'all. Where does Long Lost Friends belong on this compass?
Very far gay. Maximum far gay, and I would say halfway up trans.
Halfway up trans? Because
Yeah.
I'm also interested, like, this is a little way of us to, like, know how you were feeling about gender while writing these songs, and how and how you kind of see these songs now.
This song was meant for a gay rights compilation, and we missed the deadline. Um,
That's about as gay as it can possibly fucking get.
about as gay as it can be. And the line, "I never was a man of many words," in retrospect, was very transcoded. So
I
that's
have
why I only give it halfway up the list for
I have been
trans.
I've been working on possibly doing a cover of that song for the band that I'm working on, and I have been thinking about that line in particular quite a bit as well in
Cool.
retrospect. Let's go over to Joyride for this next one. Like I said, this is my absolute favorite. Sweet Resistance.
Oh, maximum gay.
Maximum gay for that one as well.
Let me see. Yeah, but I'd put that gayer than Long Lost Friends.
Gayer than Long Lost Friends, even.
Yeah. And how I'm feeling as a gay trans woman, I'd put that pretty high, probably like 75% on the trans level.
Hell yeah. Like
Yep.
there's that one in particular that feels that even listening to that one, re-listening to that one after I found out that you had transitioned, like that one hit in a particular way. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Well, I think singing and writing music makes you tap into a part of yourself that isn't suppressed as much. And like, I was me, but I didn't really know who that was after the song was over. And I think that's like there's always this secret side of you with my writing, that this secret side of me that I don't realize is there until years later. And I listen to it, and a lot of the meaning of the song has changed, or it's like come into focus, I guess.
Saturday, Sunday.
Why should I apologize? Tell me now, now's not the time. I only see you in the half. Oh, Mac, very trans. I wouldn't put it. I'd put it. Maybe there's a way I can zoom in. Okay, I can zoom in. Awesome, cool. Okay, this now I'm cooking with fire here.
All right,
Okay,
fantastic.
Saturday Sunday. I would put under Sweet Resistance for gay and under Sweet Resistance for trans, but it's still up there. It's still up there. You're
If
still finding the gayest ones.
I'm finding the gays. All right, let's. If you want to go as straight as one as you'd like to say.
Oh, you want me to pick one?
No, I've got one.
Okay.
Young New England. This
Young New
may
England
be
is
the sissest and the straightest song that you guys have.
maximize that shit.
Absolute.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like the only thing that I can think of doing about Young New England that is maybe less cis and straight is specifically the walk down your step. I carried you into my house and then walk down the steps with no regrets. That feels that feels gayer and transer in a way that I don't have time to get into right now, but I think we all understand what I'm saying a little bit.
Yeah, I would definitely put that as one of the straighter transit
Yeah.
songs, period.
That's not like it's hard. I wanted to ask earlier, can we talk about like the strange dichotomy that is being even closetedly queer in the state of Massachusetts?
Oh,
Because on the one hand, we'll give you all they have given us all the rights and are pretty good at protecting them. On the other hand, the state is basically owned by the Catholic Church.
growing up in Massachusetts, I was around a lot of guys that I think were really good guys, like good dudes for the most part. Not all of them, but I think a lot of them were good dudes with like their hearts in the right place. Did I feel that coming out was an option? No. No. Like I grew up in the 90s, and calling someone this word or that word or calling your friend that was like everywhere. And the idea of coming out, in my opinion, was like, I don't know. I think people around me knew I was not straight a lot earlier than I did. Um, and I also think that some people had a feeling I was trans a lot earlier than I did as well. Um, I did not find Massachusetts to be like if like where I am now, I'm me, I'm going out, I'm doing my shit, I'm dressing the way I want to dress. That's it. Like I don't give a fuck. I
Is
think if I
Charlotte
did
good? Is Charlotte, North Carolina good for that kind of shit?
yeah.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
overall, yes. I cannot picture being that way in Saugus, Massachusetts, where I grew
No.
up.
I
No, I
often say I can't say the F slur because I'm a lesbian, but I can say the F slur because I am from Massachusetts.
Yeah, yeah. So growing up in the suburbs of Massachusetts in a town like Saugus, no way I would be terrified to walk to the store and back. But I haven't been there in so long, so maybe it's gotten better, but no.
it's a similar thing with Marble. The thing about Marblehead specifically, I think I've talked about this either with other people or just on the show different before. There's a thing about small towns where they suck. There's a thing about small towns with specific identities that suck even more. Like you're from Saugus, you know about you know all the shit about Marblehead. We're a bunch of fucking rich kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I worked in Marblehead too for a while, so
Where at Marblehead did you work?
I worked near Starbucks and Supercuts, and I don't know what's it. What's that? What's the fuck is that? What are some of like the squares or the big
Vinen Square?
intersections? What is it?
Vinen Square?
Yeah, I think it's Vinnon Square.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, yeah, I worked down there for a few years, um, and so I've met a lot of people from Marblehead. Um, Let me see, is this it? Yeah, all a bunch of the stores have changed though. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Even just like growing up around there, like how much is shit. Every time that I'm home, a new like business is closed and a dispensary has been put up in the building where it used to be.
Yeah, that's happening here too. That's so funny. But yeah, so I grew up in the North Shore most of my life. I do understand that there's an identity that gets attached to you. Like my town, it's like, oh, you're from Saugus. They're from Saugus. Oh, are they on pills? Are they a scumbag?
Right.
Like, do they work construction? Do they work carpentry? Are they an electrician? Do they have shitty tattoos like someone would look like from like the Jersey Shore, like reality show? Like
But the
that's my
Irish
hometown.
version instead of Italian.
Yeah, that too. It's a lot of Italian and Irish, but like, yeah, so that's the town I came from. Um, a lot of the songs, surprisingly, there's settings in a lot of transit songs that are taking place in that town, especially on Stay Home. But anywho, let's get back to this. I
Let's
don't
get
want to
back to
digress
this.
too much. Let's see, you gotta zoom in out. Here we go.
1978.
1978 is very hetero. It is about a husband and wife who get married and want to die together and live out their last remaining years. And it's about a video that I stumbled upon online that made me cry. But yeah, I would say that's I would say no, I would say a little bit closer to the left, and I would not say it's trans
So
coded.
let's put it like halfway down
Yeah,
the like cis part of it. It's not young New England, but it's still like
yeah,
squarely in that quadrant.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. Some of these ones are surprising me.
Return address.
Return address. Let's see. Because I'm looking at a lot of this literal, so I've been looking at the lyrics because they don't all just pop up into my head
Of course.
immediately. Um, oh, very gay coded. Yeah, very. This is about a friend passing away, that took his own life. Um, yeah, I would put this. I would put this more gay coded than trans coded. Um, as are a lot of the older songs aren't going to be as transcoded as
Right.
Joyride. Um, but I'd put this pretty high up there just because of how fucking dark and real it is. Like
Yeah.
I suffer from pretty deep depression. A lot of my friends do. The song is about depression getting the best of you and you ending your life from it. Um, and feeling guilty that you weren't there to prevent it. So I would put this the furthest into the number one gayest song, but I wouldn't put it anywhere near the trans spectrum
Right.
for right now. No, no, I'd put it halfway.
Let's put it like square in the middle for it squarely in the trans quadrant, but square in the middle for there, and then
Yeah,
as gay as humanly possible.
yeah, definitely.
Don't go, don't stray.
Don't go, don't stray. Okay. Here with me. This song is about almost like a love letter to an ex-girlfriend. Um, and it's remembering like a beautiful part of that relationship. Um, Trying to take something beautiful out of it instead of writing something negative about it.
That's pretty gay.
Um, that's very
But
gay.
also pettiness is very gay.
Yes, pettiness is very, I'd say more gay. I wouldn't say this song is very transcoded.
Let's put it like pretty close to the middle
Yeah.
for uh tra- for gay and straight, but like right on the middle for trans and let actually we'll put it down more for that one just to like
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
just to like
yeah.
spread it around a bit.
Oh yeah.
Let's go with oh, here's a fun one. All
All your
Your
heart.
Heart featuring
All your heart
Patrick
is
Stump from Fall Out Boy.
it's so gay.
First of all, let's talk about that a little bit. Like how did that end up coming about and did you meet Patrick at any point?
We did meet Patrick. We met him at Skate and Surf right before Fall Out Boy went on to like headline it. Um, he was looking for bands to play one of his like acoustic shows or one of his solo
Because this was during the
shows.
breakup.
Yeah, he was looking for bands to play with in Boston. And we were already like we were busy and he found Transit from a fan recommending us and was like, "Oh shit." And then he messaged us about it, about us and said, "Hey, if you ever wanted me to like do a vocal, I would love to." I think he was really into one of our records. And I was like, we were like, "Holy shit, this is crazy."
That's
Um
really sick that like another because I haven't gotten them on the show yet, but like I've talked to Catbite a lot about coming on the show, and they just had a feature from Patrick on their last EP that they put out last year.
But yeah, we were really surprised about his him wanting to do a guest vocal spot. We sent him All Your Heart. It made the most sense out of all the songs. When he sent us his vocals, they sounded like they were already tuned. He's such a good singer that we didn't even need to really touch. I don't feel like we really needed to touch it up at all. Um, and when we heard it, we all had chills. We met him later on at Skate and Surf right before they went on. And that was just really cool. It was very like brief. It was like, hey, how you doing? Thanks for singing on one of our tracks. It's an honor. I was literally listening to them from like high school on to that when that vocal landed in the studio with us. So yeah, just fucking crazy. Really just through Twitter. It's not a crazy story except for like we got reached out to about it from him, which is the crazy part. But yeah, just really proud of that.
That's
Um,
so sick.
yeah. This song is very gay. Um,
I
the
was gonna
song is
say it's featuring a member of Fall Out Boy, which is very gay. But then it's also during the breakup of Fall Out Boy, the hiatus, which is makes it even gayer.
and it's not very hetero
No,
coded. It's I would say it's because my gayness and my transness are all tethered together and I'm singing it. I would put it pretty high up there.
pretty.
I would put it I would put it under Sweet Resistance. I would put it gay wise, I would tie it with Sweet Resistance, but trans wise, I would put it under Long Lost Friends.
It's right about here.
Yeah, I think Long Lost Friends needs to go higher up in the
I think
trans
that's fair.
category. Yeah,
And Sweet Resistance, move that one up as well.
yeah, Sweet Resistance is gayer, but Long Lost Friends might. Mm, yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
I think that's
yes.
we're editing it. It's making it better. I think we're at
And honestly, now looking at it, let's put Return Address underneath Long Lost Friends on the trans level.
hell yeah.
Yeah, boom. That makes sense to me.
We are
Cool.
at about let's see. We are at 8 songs right now. Do you want to go to 15?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I have to include this. Both of my parents are from this state, so I have to include this song. Summer Maine.
I can feel the sound of life across the lake. This song is me. This song is my childhood. This song is one of my first memories as I had being alive. This song is the sequel to For the World. This song is a love letter to my nana who raised me, Alessandra Zaya. Um, this song is so important to me. Um, I
Where in
would
Maine? Do you like vacation in Maine during the summers, or like?
my nana and my uncle and aunt, like all of them, like co-owned a little like a trailer that was on a lake. And I would go up there and I absolutely loved it. I loved everything about it. The peaceful parts of my life, most of the memories come from being up there. I'd say that song would be kind of close to the middle, but since I am trans and gay, I would put it a little bit over towards gay and trans. So I'd put it up diagonally left just a little bit. Yeah.
Right about there.
Yeah, this song's about the first time I ever heard Fleetwood Mac, and
Oh shit.
um this song is about multiple like rainbow colored owl lights that were outside the camp, and this song is about catching frogs with a net and catching minnows and being around a fire at the neighbor's like camp and listening to like Black Sabbath for the first time. The song's about attempting to try to fish and going on a rope swing. The song is very, when I watch the movie It or I watch Stand By Me, um, this song is right in that vein for me in my life. First time I played Atari was up there. Playing with Legos for the first time was up there. Getting an ice cream the size of your fucking head at Lone Oak Ice Cream is up there. Going to flea markets with my aunt and uncle. So many beautiful memories up there
There's
before. Yeah.
there's a lot of like really great parks around the country that get talked about a lot. Acadia needs further up on that list. Acadia is like one of the best places in the world.
Oh yeah.
Radio Flyer Away from Home.
Oh wow. The song's just a love letter to my friends. My friend Carl, my friend Mark, Sean Cunningham. Um, this song is about going with the carrier to Long Island to play Jared Fest, like a hardcore fest. Um, the song's about going on a roller coaster road trip across the country with two girls that we all had crushes on. But it's also about the band playing shows and just it's about just escaping from my town. It's just about loving life. This song I love. I think the song was really beautifully written. This song's just about my love of existence and my love for the adventure and being on the road and being like captivated by stars and by like like towers and trees and just looking out the window and just daydreaming. Um this song is a daydream. It
That's
literally says these
gorgeous.
15-hour drives and all these sleepless nights are taking hold of me. First line. Yeah, this song I think is very much about that road trip I went on with a few of my friends. Went to Hershey Park, went to one of the Six Flags, New Jersey, went Cedar Point, um, went to a roller coaster on Long Island. We were just living it up.
Hell yeah. Where are we feeling for this one?
Since it's very close to me and I am trans and I am gay, I would put it I would put it like tied or right near Summer Me.
Sounds good to me. If they're watching, it doesn't need to be like they've watched this far into the episode. They'll be able
Yeah,
to see that that's where that is with
that's so
those two
funny.
songs there.
That's so funny. Next song.
Next song, Riverside.
Riverside is a Sog Dog Saga song. If there ever was one. Riverside Cemetery is the cemetery I grew up next to.
Hell yeah.
Walking outside the gates of Winter Cemetery. The song's about dread, feeling death,
That's pretty
Um,
fucking gay. That's pretty fucking trans.
yeah, the song's me listening to a lot of Modest Mouse and Silent Majority. Slipknot reference in there too.
Hell
Beneath
yeah.
the Dirt and Leaves.
Oh shit.
I grew up next to a cemetery, like pretty much down the street from one, and I would walk it every day, hanging out with my friend Carl, who's my best friend. And I think the reason a lot of people started thinking that I might be gay because I loved my friends so fucking much.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is my like
Relatable.
yeah. And I would walk this cemetery or skateboard through it or ride my bike to hang out at his house because his house was a lot nicer than mine. And we would like this was me first finding bands, like first getting into underground music was with him. And yeah, I would say this song is just my a love letter to music, and it's a love letter to music, but it's also feeling dread and feeling like, anything could happen and like nothing's really promised in life. This is the first time I ever saw a ghost, and I was walking down the sidewalk next to this like rock wall that s- is divides the cemetery from that main road. What road is that? Is that Winter Street? Yeah, Winter Street. That's why I'm saying Winter Cemetery, but it says Riverside because it's Riverside Cemetery, but it's on Winter Street in Saugus. Anyway, I'm walking this down the sidewalk, um, and I'm looking at my feet as I did as a kid, and I still do sometimes. I'm just kind of looking down at the ground, and I just see this all white, like paper white, dress, like bulbous dress, like go by on my left side. And I like kind of stop and I'm like, what? So then I turn around and I see in detail, like embroidered, like in detail, you could see the roses, you could see the like the vines, you could see the flowers on this dress. And the every aspect of what I was looking at was pale, pale white. And the person had like one of those little things that like sucks in your stomach. Um,
A corset?
corset. There was a corset. There was a hat. Like it was straight out of like Puritan era, um, like Massachusetts, and they were just walking, just silently, just walking down. And I literally was like, a thought in my head, like, what a weirdo. And then I look forward for a while as I keep walking, and I'm like, did I actually see that? And then I turn back, and there's just no one there. They're gone. And that road is a long, winding road. And I should have easily been able to see them when I looked back to do a second glance. But I saw them with my eyes twice as they walked past me when I was looking at the ground, and then when I turned back the first time. Um, but they weren't there the third time, the third take. And I'm not someone that believes in like ghosts and believes in that shit, but that happened, and I have a vivid, detailed memory of it and what they looked like. I could draw it out for you. And
That's fucking insane.
yeah, so that's just a little story about that. The cemetery's a really old one too, from when the town like first
Mm-hmm.
formed.
All I used to do in my hometown cemetery was like go and be emo and closeted and listen to Sunny Day Real Estate.
Nice. Sunny Day's so good.
I loved that fucking band. That cemetery that I grew up in next to in not next to but in the same town of in Marblehead. It's the same cemetery where where the bullies steal the kids' shoes at the beginning of Hocus Pocus.
Oh, nice.
Like everything else is in Salem, but that's in Marblehead for some reason.
Wow.
Where are we pitting that song?
Hugely, very personal song, especially with the trans experience now. I'd put that high on the trans level, but not high on the gay level for me. Dead end streets, run down these dead end streets of my insecurities. Yeah.
Right above Saturday Sunday for trans, but like a little bit closer to the middle for
It's
um
tough because I'm queer and I'm trans, like I'm pansexual, and but I lean towards feminine presenting
right.
people, and any song that is like undeniably me from my childhood to now feels very transcoded now because what I am now is just the connection between my earliest years of living and not hiding it and feeling the pressure of having to like hide any part of me. So I'm just the most genuine me I can fucking be. And it took a long time. It took so many years to get here. And that's why songs like this feel the most transcoded to me now.
I think that's beautiful. Like I really
Yeah.
do. I think let's put it pretty high on trans, but let's put it like smack dab in the middle
Okay.
for gay and straight,
Yeah.
because that's where pan exists.
Yeah. So gay. So gay.
Lexington Park, 1133.
So gay. More gay than trans. This song is about going stargazing with my friends in Ipswich. It's not even in Lexington. It's just Ipswich Park sounded shitty. 11:33. I just liked how it sounded, to be honest. We were out really late and we were watching a meteor shower on the roof of my friend Carl's car. We saw deer that night. We were near a baseball field. Um, we were with, I think, one of the two girls that most of us crushed on.
Think like
Diving into blue and white is a reference to Thursday, full collapse.
I'm thinking right like on the kind of the same as we did for Riverside, but just like like in the middle for trans and cis, and then just as far gay as possible.
Yeah, this is very gay.
Yeah.
Because gay to me means free.
Hell
Doesn't
yeah.
even mean anything else. It just means absolute freedom.
As it should be.
Next song.
Next song. Indoor voices.
This song's about a cat named Elvis.
Aw.
Um, that lived on. This is very transcoded.
Hold
More
on.
transcoded than gay coded. Um,
Look at this guy.
oh my
This is why
goodness.
he has to appear in every
Hello.
episode.
Hello.
He's what
How
gets
are
the views.
you? Look at that little motorcycle helmet.
He's a
Oh,
menace. He is an absolute menace.
it's full time and I'm covering our hands. It's getting harder to sleep, and I never seem to dream. Yeah, fuck. This song is the Massachusetts hoodie depression
Mm-hmm.
anthem of transit. This song is for anyone. This song is definitely not. This song I will put right in between straight and gay. This song is pan.
I
Um,
think Indoor Voices goes smack dab in the middle
yeah,
of everything
yeah.
right there. Like,
But because of the love for cats on such a fucking level, you gotta boost it up into trans
I do gotta
territory.
boost it up. I
Yeah,
gotta
you
boost it
gotta
up.
boost
Let's
it halfway. You gotta boost
halfway.
that
I think
shit
that's fair.
halfway.
I think
Yeah,
that's fair.
absolutely. How many friends of mine are kitty girls? Oh my God, there's so many kitties. So many kitties.
So many fucking cat girls.
So many cat girls.
Ooh, that's a good one. Second to last one, Bowline.
Wow. One of the first songs ever written. I don't know how to sing in this song. I love Lifetime in this song. Serious, like, I won't forget how's memory. Very hardcore. I mean, I came out of a hardcore band and I'm writing these hardcore lyrics that are kind of generic in this song. Take deep breaths, look around, clear my head. Keeping me tied down, nothing keeping me from moving. Keeping me from everything I love. This is just a hardcore song. Um,
Do we want to put that one like smack dab in the middle?
I don't know. This song is, I'd say this song is near Young New England. I think this song is
Yeah.
way down there. Yeah.
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 I can see
This
that being the
song,
case.
this is, I love going down memory lane, but this is one of the most generic transit songs ever. And it
Understood.
shines more musically and it does not represent, like, I don't know. I feel like if I could go back in time and fix up a song, it'd probably be this one, on my contribution to it.
It's our last one that we're doing. I think we should finish up with the big one. The only one.
Okay. That bridge is very, very like, and I felt so sassy.
Mm-hmm.
This song's about a person in my life that kicked another human being down a flight of steps at like 4 in the morning.
Yikes.
And I woke up to the sound of a body falling down steps and thinking someone just died. I wrote this at a kitchen table, pretty pissed off because I couldn't go back to sleep, obviously. Um, in a daze. It was a very dramatic time for this person and their boyfriend or ex-boyfriend at the time. It's one of the reasons I don't want to go back to Massachusetts. There was so much drama back home
Mm-hmm.
and so much pain, and you tried to avoid drama and it just fucking found you. This is one
Yeah.
of those things. Here's where the horror hits home. Yeah, like hell is what you're putting me through. It's a very angry fuck you song. The person the song is about, I hope never knows the song is about them, and I'm never
Mm-hmm.
gonna tell them, but fuck. Yeah, they were cheating on someone. Midnight cigarette burn, sliding off the bed and out the door. That's just visually awesome. I love the visuals of that, and I love visual lyrics that feel movie-esque and
I agree.
um yeah, and it's more just this whole song is just an angry vent. I'm just venting and pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a red flag song for me and another person because someone I was close to is really close to this person, and I never
Mm-hmm.
understood it. I
Right.
was like, why are you so close to this person? You're nothing like them.
I feel like it's leaning towards this bottom left, bottom right quadrant over here a little bit.
No, I would
No.
say lyrically very gay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, you're listening to me being literal about it, so no, you can do that. You can do that.
I
You
want to
can do
do
that.
it. Listen, this is the last song that we're doing. I want this to be full Ella right now.
Okay. Um, Transcoded, not at all.
No.
Straight coded, not at all. I would say tie it with Radio Flyer as far as going to the left,
Mm-hmm.
but then keep it in the area where you are for assists.
For sure.
Yeah, right there.
15 transit songs on our transit queer compass graph little thing that we did here. Ella, thank you so much for being on this episode of the Cuddlepunk podcast. This was absolutely wonderful. Where can people
Thank
find you?
you for having me. Where do you find me? I guess mostly on Instagram. I post songs on there. If you want to say my Instagram handle, I think it's still LMNOS. I think that's what I have it as right now. It's either an S or a Z. But yeah, I've been singing these songs and singing songs that I love and just putting them on there because I love to sing and I love music and I love lyrics and it's very especially with the seasonal depression I have, this is absolutely saving my ass. Um so yeah, you can find me on Instagram and just thank you guys for the years of love. I can't believe I'm still even talking about like this band years later and the messages that I get and some of the people that have come out to me on in my DMs, come out as trans, come out as queer, like there's still so much beautiful life coming out of this era of my life. And I just want to thank everyone for sharing their life with me and letting me share a piece of my life with them. So thank you guys.
Thank you for being here. Links to Ella's Instagram will be in the description down below. Links will also be in the description down below for Ella's GoFundMe for recovery and treatment for top surgery. We'll be absolutely putting that down in the description.
Thank
If you
you.
can, absolutely. If you can donate, please do. Obviously shit's scary right now, but the option's always there. Please,
Yeah, shit is crazy.
if you have anything that you can spare, please send it to Ella. If you also have anything that you can spare, you can go to the Cuddlepunk Podcast Patreon. We have really cool stuff over there for either $3 or $5 a month, including getting your name in episodes and getting episodes a day early whenever they come out. Thank you. You can find all of the links to my social media and anywhere else that you can find me in the description down below. The logo for the Cuddlepunk podcast is done by Lauren Young. You can find her Instagram in the description down below. The theme song for the Cuddlepunk podcast is Lose a Turn by Mod Stout of Splitjaw. You can find links to her socials and all of the Splitjaw music down in the description. This has been wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you so much for having me.